This is Mr. Matt here with Miss
Brianna.
And today we'll be talking all about snow for our recorded therapy group for week 2 of virtual learning. As we go through our slides here, we'll have different videos and in our activity have different opportunities for our students to communicate using their speech devices or their communication systems. And we'll have Brianna talk about that a little bit more as we go. So please have your students or child's communication devices ready for them. Also, at the end, we'll talk a little bit about ice. So please have a bowl of ice as well. Feel free to pause this video at any time to get those things. And we shall begin talking all about snow.
Just a note as well, if you don't have access to your child's communication device, you can reach out to the speech therapist in your classroom for a paper-based board that you can print at home.
All right, thank you, Ms. Brianna. All right, all about snow. So Ms. Brianna, I'm gonna have you progress the slides. All right, so snow is made from water that freezes. Snow feels cold.
So all the target vocab that we'll be using during this activity are at the bottom. So on this page, the word is feel. So as you read along, you can use your child's communication device, or if they just have a paper board like I do, you'll say snow feels and point to the feel icon. So just show them where it's at before you keep going. So on this one, we have a video that goes along with it. There we go.
Today, kids ask,
what makes it snow?
Snow may seem magical, but there's actually some interesting science behind the fluffy white flakes that fall from the sky in winter. Just like rain, snow begins in the clouds. Clouds are made of tiny water droplets that have evaporated.
More.
So every few seconds, this prompt will come up. So when that does come up, that's a good time to model the word more. So you can ask your child if they'd like to watch some more of the video. So in this case, I would like to watch more.
Evaporated into a gas, risen up into the sky, and condensed back into water. As tiny water droplets, they remain suspended in the air, but the water droplets soon join together into larger, heavier droplets and become too heavy to stay in the air. When this happens,
more.
All right, so we'll go ahead and stop for now. Keep going back onto our PowerPoint.
All right, so here's just a little activity. If you want, you can ask your child, can you touch the biggest snowflake? If they need a little bit of prompts on their elbow to get that finger going, they can touch the big one. To Miss Brianna's point, there on the bottom is our core word for the page, or focus vocabulary for the page, and that is big. Look at all the different shapes snow can be made into. We can make snowmen, snow angels, and snowballs. And if you have your ice next to you, you can go ahead and feel the different shapes of the ice cubes. Mine are kind of cubes. They have the sides with a little bit of corners. And as I rub them, those corners kind of round out. So if we want to feel the shape as well of our ice that we have, this is a good opportunity. And then we can use the core vocabulary to look.
So we're going to go kind of more into the 5 senses and identifying body parts. So I use my eyes to look. You'll show your child where their eyes are, or if they're able to point, they'll point to their eyes. And then on this page, like we said, on the bottom would be the word that we're focusing on at this time. So it would be look. So you'll just point to that icon on their device. And we'll do this for every sense. So I use my nose to smell snow. So you'll have them touch their nose, or you can touch their nose. I use my tongue to taste and eat snow. So we'll have them touch their mouth. And then the core word is eat on this page. I use my ears to hear the snow. So we'll touch our ears. And then for this one, there's also a link attached to the image. So we can listen to a snowstorm. Here we go.
Listen more.
So every 30 seconds, you'll get this prompt again, just like in our last video. So you can have your child request for more, or if they'd like to stop, if that's something they really did not like. And then moving on to the last sense, I use my hands to touch and feel the snow. So you'll show your hands, touch your hands, and then the core word would be feel on this page. Snow is made out of ice, and ice feels cold. So during this time, we can transition more into the sensory experience portion of it.
So you grab your little cup or bowl of ice, and then we can use our hands to feel, and then we can kind of go over all of our senses. We can use our tongue to taste. If we want to taste the ice, we can smell the ice. Smells like water, hopefully. We can also look at the ice and describe it if we want to. Again, my ice is clear. They were cubes, now they're slowly melting. I can feel the water running down and the ice melting as I touch it. And we also talk about how it feels cold. Some of our students really like that cold feeling. It gives a nice kind of sensory jolt, and some of them don't. So on our next slide, we have whether you can, and you prompt them to ask the question if they, do you like the cold?
So they can use whatever communication support that they have at home to let you guys know if they like it. So yes, or maybe not. So the words on this page would be yes or no. And then that's our activity.
All right, we are finished. So thank you everybody for joining and watching week 2's recorded video. Again, if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to myself or Miss Brianna. And your speech therapist and other therapists that are in your classrooms will be attached to the emails and the team pages as well. So please feel free to reach out to your classroom therapist. And we thank you for joining us.